Inflewence here, and today I have Star Toys Tracker, which is their masterpiece version of Trax. It tracks. It's okay. It is okay. It's fine. It's a good replacement for Takara, but more of a placeholder, I would say. Probably for a different company, XTB or Fans Toys, of course. Personally, I say that because I can see people keeping this though, because Trax is Trax. I'm not sure how many people love Trax. Like, I love Trax. I like Trax. I had Trax as a kid. One of the only Carbots I had. I have no reason why I had him and none of the more popular Carbots that I liked. But maybe it was just timing and money from the family. Could be. But let's just get into this review. Like I said, it's okay. It's an upgrade from Takara's to me, but it's not like start upgrade.
Transformers reviews, tech and the news, whatever else I use as a muse. Hit subscribe, I appreciate the views. Influences interest on YouTube.
Accessories, there are a few. We can see the figure here though, and talk about that a tad bit. Before I go into accessories, just see his face, so you can see his face. Face is great. I really like his face. I'm not sure if it's super accurate or not. It looks like it to me, but again, I like his face. I like the paint on it. I like the eyes are painted, and that's great. He has a gun. He holds it with the masterpiece peg. However, the peg's only on one side. I hate when they do that. I know it's to cover up, but that means he can only put it on one side, which I have no clue why companies do that. Just because maybe he held it in one hand on the show. It's one thing with fixed weapons. They're where they should be or where they usually are. But with a gun, I never will understand that. So here's the gun. It's all one piece. Just gray plastic. It's shiny, but I don't think there's any paint on there. You get this thing, I believe it's for a stand. I'm still not 100% sure because I didn't try it on any stand. You get the mask that you wouldn't be caught dead without as a Trax figure. It is nice though. It's a really nice mask as far as I'm concerned. I think it's better than the official ones. But I don't remember. It's been so long. I can't remember. You get two faces. One with a little smile. One with a little smile. Nah. One is like a little bit. His mouth is like a little open, like he's surprised. And one is with a little more smile. And of course, the thing that goes into the front of the triple changed vehicle when it flies. Here you go, box. It was a little KO-ish. The box is a little KO-ish for one, but when I got it out the package, I had a little KO-ish moment. It was feeling like to me, but a lot of that is due. I mean, it's due to some of the plastics they use. It's due to some of the figure, but a lot of it was due to the fact that it doesn't come together as it should. So I have another video, should be up already. Check that out. But you got to peg all this stuff in. You got to do some stuff with the knees and with the feet. If you didn't see that yet or didn't see that video or the other videos that are out, I'm sure other people have made videos. The back of him looks very clean. Side, you can see through a little bit, but it is a lot more together. It's got a lot more going on there. So let's compare him to first Takara's. We have Takara's here. I may do a comparison video. I'm not sure. I'm sure there's going to be 50 million of them. Again, the Trax design is what it is. And I think they both kind of nailed the design. There's little things like the feet that are different. These things. Legs are a little small, or a little bigger, a little smaller over here, a little wider over here. I'm liking that. There's some things, again, as usual, that I like about this guy that isn't on here, and that I like about him that isn't on here. But But you see. And I'm not sure if I got this guy right. He's been displayed so long that I'm kind of glad I got another one. I'll turn him into vehicle mode. Got DX9's side swipe and Fans Toys Power Glide. You see how he stacks up to them. I think it's fine. It's good. Let's do articulation. So his head is down. You get it up about that much. And this is straight forward. You get the 360. It's on. If you peg everything in, everything is fine. It won't move out the way or out crazily. Thought this could go. I thought that moved a little bit more than it does. But you got these here. You can put them up and down so they can go straight up or they go out like that. Got the wings that can move back. You got this. It goes up right here on this joint, and then there's another joint in here where you get the full arm up 90 degrees. So that's cool. You get the 360. The wings are in the way. You do have to get the arm out, but it's enough. You have double jointed elbows, which are kind of nice because even though this joint right here doesn't feel great when you're manipulating it, I don't like the way it feels. I think it's just the tire and the way it's scraping on it, but it just feels weird. Feels like it gets caught up every time you move it. But I do like that there's a joint up here and the joint at the regular elbow, so you can get the full elbow up. You got a bicep swivel here. You have the hands, which aren't great as far as articulation, but they're okay. You got all three fingers here on one knuckle, and they're like that. And then you have the trigger finger on a knuckle, and then the thumb is just on an up and down pin. So that's not the greatest articulation in the hands, but I'm fine with it. You get waist 360. You get a deep ab crunch. That's nice. You got skirts that are kind of not connected to the hips, but they move with the hips, so you can get them out the way. They don't go up. There's no back skirts or anything. But I don't like the way they did it. It doesn't feel great, but I do like when companies do the hips like this because it seems to get more range, and this is no exception. This has to be done right when you do it. So he is a track star, no pun intended. Does get the hurdles. See, this joint right, like getting that down, it's a pain because of the way they did it, the separation. But I know why they did it. It's just not successful. And this falls down sometimes. And the reason this came down is because of these rods that you have to hook on in the beginning when you fix everything out the box. I'm not gonna pay too much attention to that due to my other video, so just go watch that. But if that's not in there, this drops down, and you see how it dropped down and I couldn't put the waist back. Now you can. Does the splits, deep splits, thigh swivel. I thought the leg was double jointed, but it's not. You only get 90 degrees on the knee. It's fine, better than what it was out the box. You get a rocker here like that. You get a toe. The toe tilts. The whole foot tilts up and down. I do kind of like that. I don't know if I've ever seen that. I mean, it's transformation, but I like that they did that because it actually helps a lot with getting him in poses because it's tight. If that joint wasn't tight, it would be terrible. And if it ever gets loose, it'd probably be terrible. I don't know if it's on a pin or a screw. I don't even know if you can get to it. I gotta look. I didn't look before when I transformed it. But yeah, like I was saying, it helps a lot to getting poses. If you're on uneven ground, you can like kind of get him where you need it. Say he's on ground where he's more this way, you could just push this back and it stays. Or if it's more leaning back, you just push it back and then he's doing a Michael Jackson. But you actually can get it exactly where you need it to stand. And I do like that. It helped a lot. Back, I showed the back. I think that's it for our articulation. Oh, and I forgot. I did look up. There's a little spot here that this plugs into. And it is, I think it plugs into here. And I believe, man, yeah, it does plug in, but it's not plugging in. Anyway, you plug it into there. There we go. And it's for a stand. Long story short. So let's get this fist together. You want this in, I believe, like configured like this. Then you can pull this out here. You're pulling out and this is attached, so don't hold this while you're trying to pull it out. I made that mistake. And you flip this and then you can put this back in. You do that on there. Then you do this side as well. Make sure this is out the way too, because it'll hit right here and won't come out. So move this like this so it's down. That in there and clamp that together. Here you want to move this, take this out of here like that, move it down again over here, just move this down here, take this out of there and move it down. Now you want to unpeg this right here on both sides, and it will grab this. I don't know the word. I can't think. It's late right now. Late for me I'm doing review late. So it kind of sandwiches it. In my other video I show it and I say be careful, and I still say be careful because it sandwiches the hood. So you have the hood here and it's a peg that pegs into the back of the trunk or the back piece. So then you can move that down there like that. Then you have this. These things are just go where they should go most of the time, but they're just the little metal pieces and they just clamp on. They have a little spot. You can see that right there where they stay. Then we can get these doors out of here. And this right here, you can pull this out. It's what actually clamps on to the head here. Now we can fold these missiles up. Do that, fold these in. This right here, fold this in. Move this little piece around here. Or down, yeah, push it down like that. This around. It's hard, so be careful because there's a lot of force on there. Then move this thing around like this on this piece right here. There we go. Then you can pull this in here like this. Flips around thing. You're going to have to eventually move this to flushing up the window. But before you do that, you want to move this around here because it's going to, and flip. You can flip this in because these pieces are going to be in the back. Do the same thing with this. This is coming out, but kind of flip this around, pull that down, flip this around here, and then flip this down. Let me show it like this. This is the back. So then you want to flip these around. Hopefully you can see that. Flip that around there and flip this the same way around here. It doesn't feel good. It's a lot of pressure on the little mushroom pegs. You can pull these down so the, you know, everything stays the same. It's in there. This is on kind of on a slider. Not kind of, it is on a slider. You gotta push it together. I'll push it together with both of them. Got all the way done this transformation, and I didn't have my camera running. So push this down. You want to get this flap up right here. There's a flap. Push that down to pop that flap up, and then you can pull this all the way out, and you're flipping the head all the way in on this joint. You can move all this stuff up. Should have went up automatically, but maybe I pushed it down. Then you get this head back. Should snap in there, and you just leave the stuff like that. You can pull this out because you're going to need to. You want to pull it out on the side here. It's this piece here. It goes out. Might need a spudger. Very easy with a spudger. Tabbed in a few places. Then once you get that out, you can move this out here and move it out like that. All the doors. Now there's doors on the slider. You just want to slide that down the tad bit. It's just enough. This one's already slid down, probably because of transforming it 10 seconds ago. You can move this stuff out. You can just leave this all like that and get this situated. Now right here, there's a joint in, see if I can find it. You can move this out there like that. There's the joint because you had to move this. Joints right here. You want that all the way up so it's flush. And what you're doing is moving this up that way until that little, it's a little round, it's square with a little round circle in the middle. I think that's where the pin is. And you're just, there we go. Moving that all the way up so it's flush. Do both sides that way. Flip this. Where are we at? There we are. Move this. This side's always easier. I don't know why, but it is. Then this flap, make sure this flap is out. Flip out the mirror, both sides. Flip out the mirror, flaps all the way out on here. Then move this up. And we move this up. You got to kind of move it around this stuff. There's no other way around it. No pun intended. At least I don't think. And then you get the wheel where you need it at. Now this, move that right there. You got to push this little piece right in there, because if not, it'll make the doors not be flush. And then you move this down. One part that I used their video, so one part they didn't show is when you're flipping this around. Like this doesn't go back here, it goes over here. There's a peg that pegs there, pegs in, and then there's two pegs right here that this peg in, the arms peg into. Just like that. Same thing over here. Just get this together, move this up, move this down. Again, I kind of flex that in order to get it where it needs to be. I don't like that. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel great. You move this tire around. This is all the way out, already out, I should say. Bend that, bend that. This is already done because I did it. Make sure the mirror is all the way out on both sides. Then this comes down here. You can start to see it, but you don't have to worry about any of this yet because you got to do these legs. Now you want to move this down on the waist joint so it's flush, and then move the legs up on their joints so it's straight back. And that's what creates the space for the front of the car. Now this can be tricky. It's a lot going on, but we'll do it. So get this out of here, you know, that over under, and pull this out, move this up. You don't have to fool with this right this second, but this is eventually going to pop out. Now you want to put this down here. You don't even have to do that right this second either, but you want to move this joint, the joint you move when you get it out the box. Put it back to where it was when it's in the box, like that. Again, you want to get this stuff out the way, but you want it up. I already did the feet, but you want to put that piece in, the other piece that you got to pull out, push out. You want to flip that back in. I do it over here because I didn't do it yet. And now, and you get this off because you got to move this foot out like this, and then move this down, and then it's easier to move this to the side, and all this will hit this stuff. It gets a little frustrating. Just gotta make sure everything's out the way so you can get all this stuff moved where you need it. And then you just accordion this leg up into here. But it gets tricky because two things. You're pushing this into there. You want to move this back up because this is going to go over eventually. And you're moving this in because it goes under. This flap goes underneath the foot. The foot is going to move up like this and underneath. Or the flap is going to go underneath the foot, so you don't want to move it all the way up. And there's an over-under peg here, and there's a regular peg on the outside. The over-under peg goes into this slot right here, and then once it's in there, this piece keeps it in there. So you got to do everything in succession. So let's get that in there like that. Now you're moving this over and moving it underneath the foot. It's not terribly hard, but it can get frustrating, especially this part, because now you want the over under peg to go in there and to move this way far enough for this thing to go all the way down. This stops this from going down more times than none if you don't have it all the way out. And it's hard to get all the way out, so I put a spudger here so the door doesn't, because the door collapses easily in just from, you know, just the friction of it being plastic. So I put that there like that. That, see, came out. That's fine. Now what you want to do is find something to push it out. Once it's pushed out, then you can push this down and it keeps that peg in there. And that peg is not going nowhere. And then all this stuff, you just collapse it together like that. Now this isn't going anywhere. This peg or this door right here, it won't come out at all because of this. And going backwards, you got to pull this out first before trying to get this leg separated. And then that's going to move like this and create the front of the car. Again over here, because that was complicated, I understand. One more time, always push this in to get this out. Pull this out, move that. Move that. Now you want to move this up, over, flip it around. Smack it up. Oh, sorry. Now you're moving this like this. The only reason you're moving the leg like this is to move this piece. and that piece has to be all the way up in order to move it. And the only reason you're moving this piece is to get this piece up, out, over. It is really complicated, but not. And then you're putting this to the side. This doesn't peg on or nothing. Then you want to, I didn't do the feet on this side. So you want to pull this out, push this in, put that back. Now we're moving, now we can move this back like this, and this can go in the leg. Trying to get everything situated. And this stuff comes out too sometimes. Putting that in, moving this. Remember, this piece is going under the foot. Oh, I didn't. My fault. You gotta move the foot first. But that's why you're getting all this stuff together, and it's all in close proximity. So you're moving that down, then you're kind of moving this over so the foot can go on top of that. And then you want to get this in here. You might as well peg all this stuff together, or you can move this over like this. I think, yeah. Move it that way. Again, don't forget this peg has to go in before you close that, or it's not enough room for it. Make sure it's out like this in order to get that peg in all the way. Then that peg can go in here. Super frustrating, but definitely can be done. You saw it done over here. I did have to get it off camera here, but what you gonna do? Come on, man. Give me a break. Make sure all this stuff is together, and then you can solidify that. Now you got this. You can move that up there. Well, actually, flip this over. The piece of the chest. That's cool too. You could put a little symbol on there, but that's for pegging in. So now you want to move this up here. Get this together. Make sure the beers are out. They do get pushed in when you're fooling with all that other stuff. This you're moving out here and putting it in here. There's a little space for it right there. It's on a double hinge. You need to double hinge it. Get it right. There we go. Double hinge that. It kind of takes care of itself when you double hinge it and get it right. There's two tabs on here, so be careful. But there you go, like that. And you can push this back here underneath. Move this down. That came out. Make sure you have it like underneath. The double joint gets out of whack a little. Here we go. And then you move this down and intuitively get it where you need it to go. tabs on the back of here, tabs on the back of here. Didn't have it in the right tab. And there's tabs up here. Now for folding in the wings. So spin this around like that. Fold this up and then fold this down. This goes up into here. There's a peg right here that pegs onto the bottom. Then you fold that wing there. Get over here. Spin this wing around. Fold it up and fold it in. And there's a peg if you can get it in. You may have to put a spudger in here again to keep it solid while you're pushing it in. With the alt mode. And it's nice looking car. It really gets compacted. You gotta get all this. You can get all this stuff. It is frustrating and kind of difficult. This should have been done before. Yeah, there you go. Then you get this in there. It's a series. Of course, every Transformer is a series of tabs. I was about to say that, but these are really important. Like, these windows aren't where they should be. So I'm not getting the flushness. I'm not going to worry about it right now. But you can see it rolls. Looks pretty good underneath. Has the paint job. Looks great. It's like a Corvette. So unfortunately, you have to take a lot of this stuff apart. So you have to, like I was saying before, you have to make sure these are slid out in order to get the pegs off of here. And that's what you need to do in order to get the arms out. So you make sure this is all the way out like that on both sides. You can kind of keep it together and just pull this out all the way down. There we go. Then you can get this tab out of here like that and pull these doors down. Pull these doors down. You can take this opportunity to kind of fix some of this stuff, but it's all right. And there's that tab I'm talking about. Get the wheels out. Well, the arms and the wheels. And you might as well, you gotta get all this stuff out too. So you might as well pull this stuff up. Want to flip this out because you're trying to get, man. Trying to get this out and get this out here. Pull this up, the wings, or the I don't know what it's called. These are gonna fold outward and tab on. Fold outward and tab on. And I didn't really do it because I think because I'm getting frustrated, but you should fold in these before you get the doors out. I mean, not the doors, the wheels, the arms. It just makes for a lot cleaner room, more room for you to work with. I'm gonna pull these out of here, and they come up like that. pull these out of here, they come up like that. That's why they do that. Then you can put these doors in. Can put the mirrors in. I don't know if I said that. Then you have it like this. This around here, because it's gonna, you also want to flip this. Flip that over there like this. Tabs on. It's gonna, not sure if this is any secure, but you have it like this. You push this up here, then you move this back to being like this, and this goes, there's a peg that goes into the side here. For some reason, I always remember the missiles on the side. I was just fooling around trying to see. I don't think there's a way that you can get the missiles out. I didn't try that before. Technically, there's always a way where you can get the missiles out, just like I got them. But you're not going to be able to get it in any type of how it's supposed to be, I should say. Any type of way. So you can see how it's situated. So you have it like that. You bring this up here like that, and then you want to flip this around, preparing it and flipping this around. Tab that in here, and you tab that into the side here, and it's going to come back out, guaranteed, because it's not exactly where you need it. So get all this stuff back together. Once you pull this out, you can push this together, and the missile comes out a lot, and it's frustrating. Rage ensuing. Then this, you come up here, and there's a little space, a little peg there. You move that up there, and you peg this on there. That keeps the wheel up. And over here, do the same thing. Put this in there where the wheel is. Peg it on as tight as possible. Then you just want to flip these over here so the wings are pointing forward. Then you bring the piece in. And it just frictions in there. And now you have the plane car. All this stuff, even if this stuff wasn't, you know, it's not together as great as it can be if you keep working with it. Also, this is off. It's always been off. I've tried it 3 times. Even when you get this exact, like it's still a little, if you can see it, it's like catty corner. So it makes it want to tend to come out. But it's fine. It's okay. Then you have the move that a little bit. You have the piece here So yeah, if you move that out the way, this thing is supposed to tab on to here. It doesn't tab on well. But yeah, if you move that out, move these out the way, you can kind of just put that like this. And then you can use the stand. Yeah, it would be good enough. You can use that for the stand. That's the only way I've found. I don't know if there's any other way. All right, thanks for watching this video. I know it's been a long one, but there's a lot here. Not the greatest transformation, but it's okay. It's a little frustrating in parts, but that's to be expected, I think. All right, so thanks for joining me again, and I'll get up with you in the next one. Peace.
You know, life ain't over, life ain't over, life ain't over. As long as you alive, you can give another try and take it real high if you want it.